Hello, everybody. This is Allen Devlin with Atlanta News First. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk this fine Thursday, November 9th. We're going to walk through some of our top stories today because there's been a lot of stuff going on today, honestly. It's been pretty busy. Let me select this real quick so I can make sure you guys can see more of what I'm trying to show you. There we go. So again, walking through the top stories here for this evening, and then after that, we're going to have Cutter Martin, who is fresh out of the North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia shared border area up north to talk to you about not only the weather, but also about a wildfire that's been raging up there for a while now. Thankfully, it's 99% contained, but it has been a battle. We'll get to that as soon as I'm done with these top stories. We're going to jump right into it, and we're going to start with a story done by Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn, who was talking about how there are allegations that there has been millions of dollars that has gone misplaced or mishandled in the Marta budget. He got to the bottom of it today and asked the right players. Here's that story.
Did you know that Marta's own numbers show that more than $50 million has gone missing from More Marta?
$50 million allegedly missing from Atlanta's More Marta program, a $2.7 billion project funded by a half-penny sales tax passed by Atlanta voters in 2016. This claim of missing funds is coming from not just anybody, but Gregory Nagy, who was a deputy commissioner for Atlanta's Department of Transportation. Here he is presenting to the Atlanta City Council in March.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Douglas Nagy. I'm Deputy Commissioner for Strategy and Planning within ATL DOT.
Nagy, who now works in the private sector, says based on Marta financials he acquired while with the city, Marta allocated $57.3 million for bus enhancements from 2020 to 2023. And yet, he claims those enhancements never happened.
That same period, Atlanta didn't get really any expanded bus service. So what did this $57 million go to if it didn't go to this? Someone better start answering.
In March, the city launched an audit into the More Marta program. At the time, Council President Doug Shipman called on Marta CEO Collie Greenwood to provide records of how Marta leadership approved More Marta funds for bus enhancements.
Is there a document like the 2018 letter that codified that significant change that you've been able to find?
I'll look for it. That's a great question.
And today, Atlanta City Council President Doug Shipman told me he has still not gotten that documentation. Now, Marta responded to these allegations today. A spokesperson telling me that CEO Collie Greenwood told the city of Atlanta, quote, "We are working to true up the sustaining capital costs based on actual expenditures, and the remaining money will be placed in the More Marta Atlanta reserves." From Marta's Lindbergh Center, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
So, a lot more to come from that one. Patrick's going to stay on top of it. He's going to carry it live this evening beginning at 10 o'clock. So you can tune into Atlanta News First for more on that story. The next story I'm going to talk to you guys about here is a rally that's currently happening right now in downtown Midtown, a Pro-Palestine rally, and they are outside of the consulate out there right now. Joshua Skinner is going to carry that for us this evening. Here's a sneak peek at what's been happening here pretty much all day.
I'm Joshua Skinner at the Israeli consulate in Midtown, where a pro-Palestinian gathering is being held outside the Israeli consulate tonight as part of the global shutdown for the Palestinian Day of Action. Protesters are demanding the U.S. stop sending aid to Israel. That's totaled $130 billion since 1948. People waving Palestinian flags, holding up signs here at the corner of 12th and Spring. The rally began at 6 p.m., a sit-in expected to continue all night.
And again, that's happening. It's still happening right now. There are expectations that some people will be out there well beyond midnight into the early morning hours. So Joshua Skinner is going to continue to cover that, bring us the latest. Again, he'll be live on Atlanta News First at 10 and 11. And last but not least, a good news story for you guys. Some new technology is being introduced to fire trucks in our area that will allow firefighters to get better decontaminated when they leave those burning buildings, because with all that burning comes a whole lot of toxic chemicals, smoke, debris, and they inhale it all in. So this right here is a firestorm stick. It's going to be attached to the back of fire trucks to do just that, get all of that chemical and debris off of our firefighters to better protect them. Believe it or not, the leading cause of death for firefighters is not anything that actually happens on the job. It's illnesses, it's disease, it's cancer that comes from things like asbestos and other components of building materials that are just toxic for you when you actually set it on fire, just like these firefighters are dealing with pretty much every single day. So what we're going to have is this technology right here that's going to allow firefighters to better be protected, better keep themselves safe, and then allow themselves to go home without actually bringing any of that contamination into their own being or their own houses or whatever you'd want to call it. And that is another good component of this whole scenario here. Chelsea Bynumford was covering that today, and there's much more of that on our website right now at atlantanewsfirst.com. So, as promised here this evening, before I bring in Cutter Martin, I want to give you guys a live look right now overlooking Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, because what we have is another gorgeous, beautiful day, but we're not going to have it for too long. I'll tell you that right now, because what we've got is cold temperatures and some rain coming in here this evening, and I'm going to bring in meteorologist I'm laughing at him for a reason. Don't worry about it, guys. Meteorologist Cutter Martin, who has joined me now all the way back from way up north with, I guess, Cutter, you were out there, and for some reason my video won't click over here. Let me hold it. Give me a second. Boom.
Oh,
boom.
Almost there. Boom.
Almost there. Oops, still. We're going to put Hartsfield in the back. How about that? There he is.
Beautiful.
Cutter Martin joins us now. Cutter, you were out chasing wildfires today.
More or less, bringing good news. 99% contained fire. It was the Walker County, Georgia 157 fire right there on the highway. Only a few structures threatened Allen, but good news today. Bad news, and we're going to talk about this in the forecast. Drought. It continues. Yeah. Wish we could get some rain.
Yeah.
And hoping we can. In fact, in the forecast, as we shift gears here, First Alert forecast, rain is on the way, especially for middle Georgia on into metro Atlanta. Unfortunately, though, it is looking like that the chance of rain is going to be a little bit lower. Rain totals a little bit lighter, and rain coverage a little spottier across far northern and northwestern portions of the state. So we're going to be watching the potential for rain. Again, you're looking at the current drought monitor, fresh data in today. And notice Walker County, portions of Chattooga County under an exceptional drought. That is the highest level drought. It is an exceptional scene up there. And what's even sadder to see, lakes on the way up to that wildfire coverage today. For example, Allatoona, it was low. There were 6-7 feet of exposed kind of mud and shoreline that typically isn't there. Typically it's below water. Lake Lanier, our camera up in Hall County, has also showed lake water really receding here. Docks and marinas now fairly low, still able to get in and out on the boats, but lake levels are fairly low and continuing to get lower. So rain is coming at the perfect time. We need rain. Good angle this late. Good news, I should say, rather than having this rain in the summertime where it rains and then like that it evaporates. The sun angle now lower, so the moisture in the soil tends to stick around a little bit longer and you have a little bit less evaporation. So that's good news. Again, away from the drought monitor, we're going to show you radar. We're going to zoom way out here, let you know where it's raining at the moment and when that rain may arrive in North Georgia and metro Atlanta. Again, this is a look at radar. We're going to shift radar modes here so you can see just a little bit more. And now that we zoom out, look back towards Texas, Arkansas, all the way back to Mexico. So we're talking, as the crow flies, many miles of rain. In fact, we can measure this. So from the Chihuahuan Desert in northeastern Mexico, all the way back up to, portions of Kentucky, there is a decent amount of rain falling right now. We're going to get the measurement of this at the moment. Looking at, about 1,000 miles worth of rain. And that's good news. Now, unfortunately, it's not impacting us just yet, but we are going to be watching this track pretty closely into our area and eventually into our area as we get into the day tomorrow. So let's begin with that forecast. We keep it dry tonight, no rain issues. The clouds, probably notice those. Temperature is a little bit mild. And out the door tomorrow morning, notice all of the light greens there, even some yellows. That is relatively, as far as the season is concerned, mild temperatures. Certainly warmer than it should be, warmer than average for the time of morning, the time of year. Low temperatures tomorrow morning, warmer than 60 in Atlanta, Blairsville 55, up around where we were today. Dalton, Georgia 57, 59 in Rome. Out the door numbers in the mid-50s, Carrollton and LaGrange, mid-upper 50s, Athens, Covington, and Griffin. Morning commute tomorrow, we're going to be watching that potential for some moisture to start spreading in, the possibility of some rain to start to fall, even early tomorrow, especially as we get into the after sunrise period and then on into mid-morning. We'll walk you through the hour-by-hour forecast model, doing a decent job with where it's raining now. So it gives us, forecasters, meteorologists, more confidence in how the forecast will evolve. And notice how clouds do increase early tomorrow morning, maybe the first few sprinkles, 6, 7 a.m. north and west of Atlanta. And I think the first few sprinkles, a little bit of light rain, will move in after sunrise, and then really mid-morning on into early afternoon. So if you have lunch plans tomorrow, maybe a lunch meeting, get the indoor seat. We're going to be dealing with a little bit of moisture around tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the 60s, climbing towards 70 tomorrow afternoon. And then as the rain picks up mid to late afternoon, some of that cooler air also starts to filter in, and our temperatures will start to cool. So tomorrow evening's commute could be rather damp, at least for a time, though rain not heavy, not too significant, and temperatures initially tomorrow evening relatively mild in the 60s, but notice by 10 p.m. you're already back in the upper 50s, whereas this evening we're in the mid to upper 60s. So it'll be quite a difference tomorrow. And then the rain really builds in tomorrow night, Saturday morning. Here we are, 8 a.m., widespread rain, temperatures in the low to mid 50s, a chilly, gloomy, damp Monday ahead. First alert to that. We're talking rain, waves of rain on through the morning, on into the afternoon. Here we are, 4 p.m., temperatures low to mid 50s. Going deeper into tomorrow evening, still in the low to mid 50s. We're just kind of stuck there all day with rounds of rain and gloom in the first alert forecast. And I want to remind you, this is a good kind of pause point, letting you know that we are live across several platforms right now. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, maybe you need some clarification on the forecast, again, feel free to reach out on YouTube. Right now, we are live. Atlanta News First is the account to like and to follow, and the account that we're streaming in on right now. Also, First Alert Weather app, Atlanta News First app, the atlantanewsfirst.com, the website. Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, the place to be would be YouTube, though. Atlanta News First. It's just the account to like and to follow, the one we're streaming in on right now. So maybe if you're watching Roku, all you have to do is open up your phone, go to YouTube. Atlanta News First is the place that I'll be monitoring. Just had a shot here, the comments coming in, and we will be answering any questions, comments, concerns that we may see coming in, especially about this weekend's forecast. Again, first alert, trending cooler and wetter as we get into the weekend. Rain is going to be a factor for many Saturday plans, hence the first alert, the heads up, rain an issue. May not be incredibly heavy, but it will be rather persistent on and off all day long, and more on than off in reality. And then Sunday night into Monday, maybe a little, Saturday night into Sunday morning. We may have a little bit of a lull, though not done. Here we are deeper into the forecast here. Saturday night, more rain is developing. Early Sunday morning, rain is picking back up again, and could be moderate to locally heavy at times Sunday morning, with temperatures in the 40s and 50s, clouds, light breeze. It will be very, very gloomy. So heads up, hopefully you got your outdoor errands, outdoor chores, outdoor work, anything you needed to get done. Hopefully you got that done today, because the first few sprinkles arrive tomorrow. Not a washout of a day, but a little bit of moisture around, certainly more clouds, not as warm as today. Today, of course, approaching 80 in many spots. I think it's 71 tomorrow afternoon in Atlanta, 58 Saturday afternoon, and we're stuck upper 40s, lower 50s Sunday afternoon. Cold rain for Veterans Day, obviously a day in which many people are remembering veterans and having moments of recognition outside. You will need the umbrellas. And it remains cool into next week. 40s to near 50 afternoons, 50s, 60s, lots of clouds. We're kind of sliding into a gloomy pattern with at least periods of greater rain chances. That is good news for so many that are in severe to exceptional drought conditions. Obviously, those that are dealing with wildfires. Spoke with Gabe Outlaw, Public Information Officer, a forester with the Georgia Forestry Commission today, and he was saying yesterday 34 new wildfires were ignited across the state, not just in our area, but statewide. 34 new fires yesterday alone, all contained, none threatening any properties, no injuries related to those fires, nonetheless showing you how dry it is and how easy it is for wildfires to begin across the state, not just here in North Georgia. So rain is a good thing. It has been sung and song, and it certainly is truth and it's reality in this 7-day forecast. Rain is on the way. We need it. Veterans Day, First Alert, Sunday, First Alert, weather is on the way, and First Alert meteorologist Fred Campagna, hyper forecast tonight, starting at 10 p.m. in just a little bit. Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate. Also Atlanta News First back on WANF at 11 p.m. for the late news. And a reminder, you can always get that forecast in the First Alert Weather app and at AtlantaNewsFirst.com, even outside of the newscast. We'll leave you with a live look. Currently dry runways at Hartsfield-Jackson at Atlanta International Airport, but rain is on the way for your weekend plans.